Hello, Python coders. So in today's video, I want to talk about something that I probably should have covered a couple of videos ago, and that's Python virtual environments. I touched a little bit about this back in one of my tutorial videos, but one of the viewers of the channel left a comment asking about Python virtual environments and why do they exist. So what I'm going to do is let's do a little demonstration of creating a new project, and we'll go into the details of why do Python virtual environments exist. So I'm just going to create a new project here, and we are going to call that sample, just to keep things simple. And we are going to create a Python virtual environment. There's a couple of different methods that we can use to create these virtual environments. I'm just going to stick with the default, which is virtual environment. And by the way, this is being done inside PyCharm. And what I do is I tell it where do I want my virtual environment to go and what base interpreter am I going to be basing that on. Now, this base interpreter here is the clean default installation on whatever system you are working with, whether that's Windows, Mac, or in my case, Linux. So my default Python installation is in user bin Python 3.11. And Windows, it goes into program files. Mac, I'm not exactly sure where it puts it anymore. It's been a while since I did this on a Mac. But on Windows, it's installed just in the regular program files. I can choose which base interpreter I want, which in this case I still have Python 3.9 installed, even though I don't use it. So I don't have a Python 3.10, but I do have my default 3.11 installed. All right, so when I hit create, you'll see that under my sample folder, you'll see that I have a virtual environment folder. And if I look in the bin, let's see, not in bin, but in lib, Python 3.11. There is my default Python installation. Yep, there's my Python right there. There's my Python interpreter. If I look in the folder structure, under sample, you'll see it has virtual environment, and then there's all my site packages. And it doesn't put anything in there. There we go. There's wheel, there's pip for installing third-party packages. All right, now the question that was asked in one of the comments of the videos is, why would I do this? Why do I even want to create a virtual environment like this? There are a couple of different reasons. Number one is maybe you are working on a project where it was written in Python 3.10 or even earlier, maybe it was written on Python 3.9 and you still need to maintain it on Python 3.9 before you try to upgrade it, let's say. So you could create a project with a virtual environment based on an earlier version of Python, copy your code in there, make sure it's working on that interpreter, then you could try to do it on a newer interpreter. That's one reason. The other main reason has to do with third-party packages. So let's take and install. I'm just going to do this in the terminal because it is a little bit quicker. And you'll see that PyCharm automatically puts me in my virtual environment. So we're going to go pip install XLSX and this is a library that I use to create spreadsheets. And you'll notice this actually shifted because now XLSX is installed. And there's all the Python that goes with that. Now, this is not installed on my base interpreter. So my base interpreter, wherever my Python installation goes on my system, that stays completely and totally pristine, just as it came from Python. that does not contain any third-party package such as XLSX Writer. I really do hate saying that fast. But when I use a project like this, I installed the libraries, the third-party libraries that I need, and I'm leaving my base interpreter completely alone. My next project that I would open up with PyCharm or create with PyCharm would contain, as a start, just the base again. And then I would go through and I would install what third-party libraries that I need. The other main reason for using a virtual environment is if I go to package up this application and ship it out, so if I create a Windows, a Mac, and a Linux installer, the only thing that I am including in there is my virtual environment with just the third-party libraries that I need. If I were to take my base Python installation and I were to put every third-party library that I would ever need inside of there, that would mean that when I package that application, I'm going to have to include many things, many different libraries that I possibly don't even need for that project. So why include that stuff if you don't need it? It's going to make your installer much bigger. And if you have end users that are downloading these things on a WAN, that can actually be kind of slow. So that's the main reason. We want to keep the Python base interpreter crystal clean. We create a virtual environment based off of that. We install what third-party packages or libraries we need in that, only what we need. And that makes packaging easier. It makes testing easier. Another reason too is Python updates fairly quickly. So you could be working on a project that is in Python 3.11 and you're just about completed with it. Well, let's say Python 3.12 comes out. You put Python 3.12 on, and now your package or your project is now broken. This does happen from time to time. I'm not going to say that it happens every time. Most of the time, things upgrade and just work just fine. But you could have a situation where maybe one of the third-party libraries that you're working with won't upgrade to Python 3.12 when that comes out. So you need to make sure that when you're starting and working on a project, you have a completely static copy of your Python interpreter and you have a static copy of the third-party libraries that you're working with. Once everything works, you could copy it to a new project, try to upgrade things in that project, and then do all of your testing to see if the upgrade works. So anyway, that's the gist of it. I think that Python virtual environments, they're actually pretty simple. Not really much technical detail to them like you saw, and that's one of the reasons I like about using PyCharm is it just does that for me. I don't have to really sit here and fight with it. It just does it for me. And so if you have any questions or comments about virtual environments, please put them in the comments below. And other than that, happy coding.